Hello, you lovelies, and welcome to KoiCast. I am Koi Jandro, a Bostonian who loves pop culture, comic books, and people, and we have a very, very, very special episode for you all today. Perhaps the most special episode we've ever done of KoiCast. Before we get to that, I am joined, as ever, by my great cohort, the producer that makes this sound as lovely as it does, and keep me from just saying I love everything. And he loves most things, not as much as me. It's Jake Lloyd Bacon.
Hi, Koi. I have in my home right now. I have a junket of Jandros. I have a basket of Bostonians. A
variety of Virginians.
A variety of Virginians. Thank you.
It's a lot.
Today I get the pleasure, and it's exclusively mine, of talking to your family.
It's a lot.
Because
it's great.
They are here just in the other room now waiting for us to summon them.
It's been crazy because we've all been in one little Chevy Volt bopping around town.
You guys have been touring Southern California.
It's been a lot. And this is our first time in this neighborhood, and I was very excited to introduce them to you. You and my dad are both bike boys, amongst other things, so it's gonna be exciting.
So right off the bat, we're gonna do this reality show style. First, we're gonna. Koi still wants to talk about news.
Just two things,
because he's weird that way.
You know what, you guys? I love my family and I love news.
All right, so we want to talk about news. Then we're gonna have a little convo with Grandma and Grandpa Jandro.
Going chronological, they were here first.
And then we're gonna chat with Mom and Dad.
Yep.
We're gonna play a little bit of the Letterboxd game.
Yep. At the end,
and we also have to pick October's Unpunchable Gift Horse of the month.
Big app.
So we got a lot going on.
Okay,
today.
so briefly the news, just because if we didn't say it, I feel like the 7 people that listen to this for the news be like, why am I even here? And then we'd lose those 7. And frankly, can't do that to them. Who knows what sources they have beyond me? They don't have the internet. How are they listening to this? We'll never know. That said, it was too big of news to ignore. This week, they announced, confirmed, and very saucily, I might add, that Deadpool 3 isn't just coming soon, didn't just give us a release date. They confirmed the greatest news they could have. Hugh Jackman is back in Deadpool 3, and then with a follow-up video confirmed it will not negate the events of Logan. Now, Jake and I have talked at length how I think the 3 perfect sets of arcs are Iron Man, Captain America, and Logan. Like, we both agree we don't want anything to happen to that perfect ending. I think this is the way to do it.
Well, yeah, because it's just an interstitial.
It's a variant or a time travel. Like either way,
I just assumed it took place because the way that they said, like, oh, that movie took place a really long time.
2029.
From now. Yeah. So this is before then.
And that's what's great is you can do like a one shot, effectively, a comic book one shot.
Also, like at this point, does it matter?
Nothing does.
Like
the timeline is so messy.
It's kind of There's the lake is no longer just water. At this point.
And X-Men continuity in the beginning, like Bryan Singer's X-Men movies barely have continuity.
Sure, yeah.
So it's perfect.
Same with like there was literally the fact that he's Wolverine in 2 different groups of X-Men is insane.
And it works ish, just like in the comics it works.
It was a very very fun video. And the reveal of it was very fun with but like the build up of him saying that he has no plans. That
he's such a marketing genius. I mean, obviously he owns a marketing company.
Really good.
Maximum Effort is a multiple year award winning marketing agency in addition to his Mint Mobile and his aviation gin, and now a owner of a soccer club, Wrexham. So Ryan Reynolds is a full-on mogul, and I think seeing all of his powers combined in an ad featuring aviation gin and his marketing and Hugh Jackman was I kind of love him more. I couldn't love him more. Basically, that's what happened. I fell madly more in love with Ryan Rodney Reynolds.
It's very fun.
So yeah, that's one bit of news. Hugh Jackman confirmed. Deadpool with the 3. Come on.
And they gave a release date for it.
9/6/24. So September 6th, 2024. Not that far.
Oh God, this is going to be like the Batman all over again with you. I'm just not going to stop hearing about this movie
insufferable.
For 2 years.
Are you even? I'm going
to be like, it's literally another year away. You can be like, but I'm still talking about it.
But you know what I'm thinking about? We learned this week. Do you know what we learned this? I'm going to go to set. I'm going to do a set visit. And I'm literally going to talk about nothing else. I'll be like, I got a cashew on the set of Deadpool 3, and it changed my life.
Insufferable.
I just hope you're ready, KoiCast listeners. If we're still here by the time Deadpool 4 comes out, I still might be talking about that time with Hugh Jackman as a Deadpool 3.
Specifically make a point not to be.
The show is canceled because Deadpool 3
the week before.
You're out August. You're like, we're not doing the show. Guys, by the way, Jake has plans in August of 2024. Unfortunately, we won't be able to do the Deadpool 3 coverage. So that was one bit of news. The other bit of news, just before we bring my family in, is we had a Wakanda Forever trailer drop just this morning. Did you get a chance to see it before?
No, I get it.
So it's
they're in Wakanda. It's forever. It's gonna last forever.
It's forever. It's
right there in the title.
In brief, We got to see Namor fly. We got to see a lot of really cool imagery of it. Looks like a war taking place. We did fully acknowledge the death of T'Challa further, and we do see our first look at the new Black Panther. So it's a really it's really cool to see the escalation of these trailers.
Without telling me, can you tell who it is?
You can tell who it's not.
Oh, okay. All right. You've told me a lot without telling me anything.
You're welcome. Yeah. It's a great trailer.
All right.
So it's really cool, and it's really interesting to see the duality of the very serious tone of Wakanda with Namor flying. Like, I was really impressed that I was like, that's a silly power, and they made it work.
I mean, literally, the serious tone of the first movie featured 2 cartoons falling through the sky.
An underground railroad.
Yeah, and while the imagery was lovely, it was also
quite a bit
silly.
Yeah,
yeah.
So
on top of it,
that's the tone. It's James Bond plus silly. The trailer's solid. This tickets went on sale this morning. We filmed these on Monday. It is coming out November 11th. So the week of November 11th, I might not mention Deadpool, probably will, but we'll get to that as the time comes. Very excited. But without further ado, we got through the 2 news stories that Jake was like, even why? But hey, news segment's over.
I want to talk to grandparents.
Hope you enjoyed your 7-minute podcast, because that's all the news. Now comes the Jandro Merrickses.
So we are here with the senior Jandros.
Yep.
Is it Jandro?
So these are the Merricks.
These are the Merricks. I'm sorry, I apologize. I keep saying that.
Yep.
Oh man, we didn't do in the beginning. Hang on a second. A monolith of Merricks.
Yeah,
there we go. See,
I like that.
Something.
A monolith of Merricks. Now we're all together.
So we have Mama.
Yep.
And Poppy.
Right.
I am very excited. So I just because Koi already knows you guys and I don't, I'm gonna go ahead and just take the reins from him. And the first thing I want to ask is, before you guys sat down, there was murmur in the other room of, you should have Poppy tell the story of ripping up comic books. And
what
now,
an ominous start.
And now I have to know the story.
All right, Pop.
Ripping up comic books.
Well, back then, comic books was really cheap.
Sure. Back then, meaning when he was little,
or
before, when you were
way before he was even
thought
about, when I was in my teens.
Yeah.
And all. And it just, when you got through with it, that was it.
You just trashed it. It was one and done.
Yeah. Well, you rolled it up and put it in your pocket sometime, and then just wherever you going.
Do you remember what kind of comics you read? Remember the titles or who they were?
God, no. I used to sketch. Some of the stuff that when I was in high school, but
so you were an artist as well.
No. I said sketch.
Sure.
He
did the rat course.
Not close with that.
So it would have been what decade when you were buying and destroying these poor beautiful comic books? Was that 60s?
50s.
50s.
50s. So it might have been like Archie and that era.
Right.
Okay.
Archie comic books I did.
And maybe, some Batman came out in the 40s, maybe some Batman.
Captain Marvel, very popular amongst the young Elvis, as we've recently learned.
Yeah. Love that movie.
Definitely Archie comic books.
Did you know that Elvis was a Captain Marvel, a Shazam fan?
No, I did not.
That was a big way he based the some of his imagery off of it.
That's why he wore that little cape.
Yeah. The cape in Vegas was because of Shazam.
I didn't know that.
I did not know that.
Yep, and he was called Captain Marvel Jr. back then. He was a big Billy Batson fan. So maybe there's some of those comics from that era. So you destroyed the very expensive ones now.
Probably.
The ones that are thousands of dollars now.
I didn't say anything, but there's a good chance that you were rolling up some future tuitions.
We could have bought a couple Chevy Bel Airs.
Yeah.
Could have. And Mama is an artist.
Yeah.
So my Poppy
really?
is a master carpenter, master plumber, builds houses from scratch, basically. And my Mama is an artist and an incredible business savvy woman. So I come from good stock. And then my family met in art school.
How come you don't have any of those abilities?
Because I learned to talk too early, and then I never stopped.
He never stopped.
You finally have somebody here that understands what I go through. It's never. It's just all the time. Jeez Louise.
He has performed all of his life.
Yeah, they're the reason for this.
I believe it.
They're the problem.
Koi sing this. Koi dance. Koi do this. Koi would do it.
Oh, so you were. So wait. So it sounds like you were a stage mom. Is what it sounds like. Stage mama.
Yeah. I was, and the camera, and then I got him his first movie camera.
Were you? Is Koi your first grandchild?
First.
Yeah.
I have
You ruined it for everybody else.
Very immediately.
Oh my
and
goodness.
all of them are actually good, like people like EMTs and firefighters and
Yeah.
like
You're like, I
911
like Deadpool
dispatchers.
movies.
I'm like, heroes, like not my family, but Spider-Man's. Like my family are all real heroes, and I just talk about them.
Great.
Pretty much.
So they got me. Basically, Poppy bought a camcorder. Way back, Mema started using it.
Yeah.
And then I was the stunt child. So like I would crash my bike and I wouldn't cry unless it was on camera.
Right.
And then I'd check if they got the cut. So like
all right.
they
So
basically ruined me
So
from
they
the drop.
created Jackass.
Oh yeah,
and
no,
never got credit for
way
it.
early. Yeah, I was the proto Johnny Knoxville.
Pretty
So
much.
yeah, they got me into being on camera and being the center of attention very early on. And y'all, I mean, I had a young family. So like they helped raise me. Like we talked way back in the day. Like
Sure,
it was
of
a
course.
village.
Yeah.
It was the village, yeah.
And did any of his interests and obsessions like bleed into you guys? Like, do you feel like you guys are more equipped, despite being in the older generation, to like keep up with the youngs because of Koi?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah?
I keep up with the cast. I keep up with the comics. I keep up with the movies.
Really?
So I can talk to him.
She had to learn.
She's
in
got
order to-
research to do.
Yeah,
She's
and
like,
I
I'm
do.
just trying to have a relationship with my grandson. I have to watch 17 hours of Marvel movies just to talk to him.
Most of them we love,
Luckily.
absolutely love. And he has showed us an incredible time here.
Yeah, what's really cool is my family, and I'm really lucky. We grew up in the VHS era.
Sure.
And we grew up with basically every Friday we'd watch movies. So
Okay.
Mema always had a giant full closet full of VHSs with 3 movies per VHS because all recorded off the TV.
Yeah, that was, yep.
So our family
Yeah,
tradition
probably
was
similar.
always like, I might be comic specific, but we
Sure.
all watched movies
All
my
right.
entire childhood.
Mema, what's your favorite movie?
Oh, my goodness.
If you had to pick one. I mean, I know that's tough to pick the one, but like, what's a short list?
Yeah,
Go
like a
with
top
short
5. Like
I love Jurassic Parks.
list. Fantastic.
great
I
pull.
love it. What is another one I watch over? Any Clint Eastwood.
Oh, really?
I like Clint
Really?
Eastwood.
Specifically young Clint Eastwood or any Clint
Uh,
Eastwood?
the
Like
yo-
the Gran Turismo years and those?
No, the young one.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I had a feeling.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's not wrong.
No.
But I like all movies.
Yeah.
I like scary movies. I like
Really?
westerns. I like comedy. I like them all.
What about you, Poppy?
Me for movies.
Yeah.
I like westerns, the old westerns.
Old westerns? All right.
The old-
Okay.
Yeah.
So, are you when you say old westerns, are we doing John Wayne westerns? Old or even
Older.
older?
Yeah.
Like Hopalong Cassidy.
Roy
Got it. All
Rogers.
right. Okay.
That's when I was brought up.
Sure. And you just stuck with that. Are there new westerns that you get excited about seeing? If a western comes out and it has sort of an old feel to it, do you get a little excited?
I like some of the new, well, not new, but Clint
Newer.
Eastwood.
Gotcha,
The
okay.
westerns that
Good.
he done.
Gotcha.
He done some really good ones.
I think we
Gotcha.
all
See-
saw True Grit
Him
By
together.
the
and-
way, I just want to say this is the level of hype that I appreciate. It's way too much dealing with you. This is
I
the
like
sort of,
Clint Eastwood.
I like some movies. This is take 100%. You're the new host of the show. I just wanted to know this. Welcome to the Popcast.
Yep. Popcast coming soon.
Ironically named.
It kind of works.
Wow, we should rename the show.
That's cool.
But all right, so you're a Western guy. Fantastic. And you are not a Western person. Chloe.
So
That's
I
not
like
something you
modern
got.
West, like True Grit. I like the more modern Western, but the Western never translated because, ironically, of the speed. I need like stimuli. Like I like the lot coming at me.
You don't say.
So the Western thing never, like, it's a lot of prairies.
Sure.
But
And the
when we were
horses.
growing up, like the 80s era, like you guys got me into Arnold.
Oh, gosh.
you guys
watched
got me into
all of them.
the Lost Boys. That
Yeah.
was all y'all. And like the video store down the street, we used to have a family video store we'd go to like every week next to Food Line.
Right. Exactly.
So every Friday was movie night.
That's where you met Daryl Hannah.
Yeah.
Wait, you met Daryl Hannah at the video store?
Yeah. She was filming.
Why are you pointing at him for?
She was filming Crazy People
Right.
in
Oh.
Chatham, Virginia, and we met John too. But anyway, she fell in love with Baby Coy.
I was like 18 months old, so I don't know
And
why I was a character witness.
She carried him everywhere through the store. Yeah, loved
think-
him.
I
Splash
think
is
it
real
was-
special to me.
I think it was an attempted abduction that went wrong based on what it sounds like.
He would have matched her.
It's true.
was
Daryl,
a
if you're
blonde.
listening, I miss you. But yeah, we were a big video family. I remember one of my favorite memories of like growing up in that house is we were one of the first families that I knew to get surround sound. But that's mainly because I didn't know a lot of other families. We were very like, around a mountain.
Days of Thunder
and Twister. We just watched over and over again.
Yes.
I could hear the cow behind me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But like that was like a month we just watched Twister and Days of Thunder over and over again.
So you said in that house, did you guys all live together?
We're all on one mountain.
Oh, well, I know you were on one mountain. We did that on Elaborate years ago.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
One mountain.
So 0 through 5, I lived with like a one house down.
Got it.
Basically.
Oh, got it. So you guys did like that's what my sister and her mother do. It's they have the estate, which is 2 houses next door, and they just took the fence down.
That's
so we all just made it work.
Yeah.
But it was like cousins, aunts, uncles. Like it was a lot of us together. So I I was able to like run another house. And what's cool about them is they still like they've got how many grandkids now?
8.
And it's basically 8 grand or how many great grand?
Great grand 4.
So 12 total.
Yeah.
And basically like they're still always raising kids in open door policies. So they've gone through like multiple generations of like showing movies and open door house.
That's the way to be. That's the house that the kids want to go to.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. And they
still do it. Still come to the house.
They're grown.
I have a question. The VHS collection with the 3 movies off TV, does it still exist?
Most of it.
Oh.
We still have.
I have
You'd
all
be
of the
surprised
videos.
at the movies.
My grandfather had, the Marvel notebooks? My grandfather had 3 Marvel notebooks filled. Every single page, each line was a different VHS number of 3 different movies.
I did that.
Yeah.
Written off of like, because he would call up like, was it TMC or AMC? We used to be able to call and suggest movies.
So he'd be making his playlist.
Yeah. And the guy had, when he passed away, I want to say that he got over 1,000 VHS because I want to say they were up to like 113 maybe.
Wow.
I had 5,000.
5,000 tapes,
In
individual
one
tapes.
closet.
Yeah.
And each one had 3 movies.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, this brings back some memory. Why are all grandparents the same? That's what I
It's
want to
the
know.
best.
Why did this happen?
But that's what's going to be great in 40 years when people are like, why are all this generation the same? Like, we'll have that, but like, why do they have a stack of Blu-rays?
But I say that I have 2 of his VHS. I was only able to save 2 of them.
Oh,
the rest of them I think ended up getting chucked.
My favorite,
I've got mine.
my favorite of all of ours, I still remember the favorite singular VHS. It was The Mummy, The Matrix, and My Favorite Martian, because that is a journey to go
That's
on.
fantastic.
Like, what a good time. It was in that order.
Accidentally alphabetized?
I think that
or
was
it just okay?
And like to this day, I remember like what a journey of 6 hours that is.
The only tape that I have that had something like that from my grandfather's, there was Blues Brothers was on the same tape as one of my favorite movies. My favorite movie
Animal
of all time,
House.
City Slickers.
Oh, City Slickers.
Oh yeah, his favorite movie ever is City Slickers.
Absolutely, it's hands down greatest movie ever made. Don't at me.
It's good.
I didn't mean that.
No, these are our big City Slickers fans.
By the way, now available on Netflix. Just found out. So if you've been listening to this podcast and hearing me talk about that movie for 2 years, how long are we doing this? It's now on Netflix. You have no excuses. But anyways, my favorite was my grandfather had the worst spelling, just the worst, and the worst handwriting, and so we had to put a period in between each letter.
It's safer.
And watching my grandfather attempt to spell Dan Aykroyd, oh boy, that was fun. Because I think I can spell and I can't spell Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, we were.
So most of the tapes still exist though.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
I would love to just get like photos of
and
the
just
log.
sit and look.
I want to see the journals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got them.
Yep. So and they like big action figure family for a while. We got like an original Darth Vader.
Oh really?
Toys?
Yeah. Toys? I'm sorry. Action figures.
Thank you. Hot Wheels, big Hot Wheels family.
The Michael Jackson doll.
Mm-hmm.
The original. Missing one glove, though.
That's appropriate though. It's Michael Jackson
Missing a glove. I think that's just how it comes.
I think that's just
It
Michael
may be.
Jackson.
But he has one glove.
So, do you guys take credit for the pop culture installation in Koi? Do you feel like if it wasn't for you guys, Koi would be like
He was immersed in it. He really was.
And inversely, do you feel guilty? Do you feel like, oh man, he could have been a doctor if we
unleashed
love movies
this.
so
No,
much?
he was born to entertain. He really was.
Oh,
And then they
God.
curated it.
And then they curate. Well, they also forced you to crash your bike into things for their entertainment.
But yeah, and then me and Poppy would do. I did learn skills that I never used again, but he would take me to learn how to build houses, and I know how to do like laying carpet and putting up crown molding, and now I talk about comics. Didn't use those skills, but I learned them.
Nice to have something to fall back on.
Right.
But he can't hang.
He can't hang curtains.
He can't hang curtains.
Yeah, my Poppy came in and helped me hang my curtains.
I come all the way from Virginia to hang curtains. California.
That's a sad day right there. That's a day no grandpappy wants to see their boy go, I can't hang my curtains.
Everything I taught you, I'm like, this is too hard. I don't know what this is. Looks great though. He did a great job.
I'm sure he did. Better than yours.
Professional.
I don't know. Yours were at a 45-degree angle for some
It's
reason.
like, why is it sliding all the time? I couldn't figure it out.
All right. So Koi is sort of a pop culture, what do we say, pundit? He's a connoisseur. What are your favorites? If you were to take over the show right now and you were to suggest stuff to the listeners, what are things that you suggest listeners of the show watch that they might not be familiar with? Do you have things that you go, oh, the generation now, they don't know about this? Or maybe it's a new movie and you're just like, hey, this is a new movie that I just discovered and I want to tell everybody about it.
Well, we just seen the new Elvis movie.
We just watched that the other night.
And
I was going to talk about it on the Patreon only pod.
Saw it from
Real
a
good.
different angle, from his angle.
Sure.
And he would have done a lot of things different. I would have done a lot of things different if he'd been my son.
Oh, Elvis, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was
He would have had a little
fascinating.
more guidance from the memo.
Yeah, well, listen, that whole movie, my favorite part about the movie was that it was more about Colonel Tom than it was about Elvis.
Yeah.
That's what I loved about it. Is like, oh man, that was a feat.
It was an interesting take.
That was a feat. It was very
And
good.
Baz Luhrmann, man, it
was.
was
It
beautiful.
was.
What about anything from yesteryear? Anything that you think that we want people to watch? We have a rare
Way back.
Mama recommendation moment.
It's true. This is a big moment.
A rare movie, just a plain movie. Oh, I love the action adventures. The more action, the better.
The more action, the better.
Oh yeah, I love all of that.
We like watching Days of Thunder. We've watched that over and
Yeah.
over.
You know, Days of Thunder, I think, is a movie that has escaped a lot of people.
It does not get
in our
enough
generation. No, Days of Thunder is one of those. Oh, that's another movie from that era. Like, I think everybody knows the name,
Sure.
but people don't know the movie.
They don't realize it was the sequel to Top Gun before Top Gun Maverick.
Sure.
It was basically
Right.
like, let's make Top Gun again.
Let's do that again, but this time with cars.
And
Yeah.
like, it's amazing.
Yeah, the one
did
that
not know that.
Yep. Cole
the
Trickle.
one that blew my mind was Matrix.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Matrix. Oh, man.
Oh, Matrix.
The apple doesn't fall far from the
Yeah.
tree.
I'm like, I like that we didn't prep this.
the
And
variation.
Elvis and the Matrix are the two that came out.
No variation.
I've
whatsoever.
literally been singing Elvis's praises
Have you really?
for months, and The Matrix is my favorite movie next to
Amazing.
Fight Club.
What about you, Bobby?
I liked The Matrix when it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was confusing.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, you had
Sure.
to stop and think about it, really,
Sure.
to understand what was really going on with it.
Did you guys rewatch it a lot?
A lot.
That's. I wish.
Hey,
I
let
need
me-
to explain to listeners. Poppy's eyes lit up when I asked him that. Like I uncovered a secret that he's like,
Yes.
you guys don't know. I actually stayed up for 7 days straight and just watched Matrix on loop.
A lot.
We seen it back to back.
Yeah, just over and over again.
And you see
Right.
things you missed.
Of course,
There's
a great
I think
deal
I do that
of-
today
Yeah.
for a movie that's 20-something years old.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that happened.
Yeah. So
I did not see that before.
So The Matrix, they
Yeah.
got, and she said Elvis. Anything else for your picks?
Yeah, not really. There's a bunch of them that I really like, but nothing stands out.
So maybe an old Western?
Yeah, what's one of your favorite old westerns that people might not know, that I might not know? Because I also love westerns, but I have a blind spot because of access. Nobody showed them to me. I had to discover them myself. So nobody ever said, "Have you seen this one?"
Yeah, your favorite old
What's
Western.
your favorite old western?
You just watched it.
Oh,
Josie Wells.
Yes.
Josie Wells.
Yes,
it's a Clintwood,
we just watched
old
it.
one.
Well, we watched it twice in 1 week.
I don't know that one.
What's it?
Outlaw
Josie
Josie Wells.
Are you saying
Yeah.
Joe and then the initial C and then Wells?
Josie, Joscy. Wells.
Josie Wells.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
It is fantastic.
The Outlaw Josie Wells from
Yes.
1976.
Yep.
Starring, of course, Clint Eastwood, Sandra Locke,
Right.
Chief
was-
Dan George,
That was his girlfriend or
Hey,
wife.
Bill McKinney.
Mm-hmm.
Adding it to the list, The Outlaw Josie Wells. There you go. Straight from Poppy Merrick.
All right, so we got the old G recommendation. We got the modern Elvis recommendation, which is so funny because I've been talking about that movie nonstop for this podcast.
It blew me away.
I was so
I
happy.
loved it.
Made my top 10 of the year, and it was like I knew I'd like it. I didn't think I'd love it. It's
No.
so exceptional.
No, I loved it.
Yeah, same. Well, I think that's everything with the grand folks. Any last question, Jake?
No.
You
guys are welcome back anytime.
Okay,
Anytime
thank
you
you.
feel like just taking over for Coy, you can come in and sit in the studio, and we'll just kick Coy out.
We got to continue Popcast.
And
Popcast.
yeah, we'll do Popcast anytime you guys want. It's so nice meeting you guys.
Thank you very much.
Mom, it's so nice to meet you in person.
Thank you.
You've been on the show before. This is your second or third appearance?
I think third appearance.
Third appearance on the show.
I believe it is the third.
First time in person.
Going for the hat trick.
Yes.
And the first time we've got, what do I call you? Do I call you James? Do I call you Dad? Do I call you Papa? Not Papa. Do I call you Daddy
Only if you sing
Jandro?
it.
Because we call her Mama Jandro.
Yeah, she's Mama John. Self-appointed.
Right.
There's the Mama Poppy, self-appointed Mama Jandro.
Mama Jandro.
I call him Dad.
And James. And by the way, I do want to say that I don't even know why I asked when Mama and Poppy sat down what side of the family it was, because you are a splitting image of your father. You and your
Indeed.
father are clones of one another.
Yep.
And I don't think I realized that until I was
Although
helping him off the couch. And I
I'm
went,
the
"Oh my
pale
gosh."
white version, and he's the Cherokee tanned version.
Sure. Yeah, he's been out swinging hammers his whole life,
Exactly.
building houses.
Changes things.
I'm excited to have you guys both here. I know
He's our first longtime listener, first time attendee.
True,
Which is cool.
Yet I don't think I've read your review yet, so I don't know why you're waiting on that.
How many times we have to plug where to go to leave a review?
Jeez Louise, not even a
Now,
patron.
there's a slight bias, I
Yeah.
think, perhaps if a Jandro pops
I'm a
up
patron
those-
in one way.
In those comments. Yeah, that's true. That's true. A lot of groceries this week. It's been great.
What have you guys done since you've been in town?
Oh, all sorts of things.
Yeah.
We landed on Tuesday. Wednesday was Disneyland, both parks. And then we took a day of rest, and we've done Universal Studios. We have walked. I've calculated we've walked over 45 miles.
Jeez Louise.
And that's
Here in-
my grandparents, too. I want to give full credit to my grandparents walking 45 miles in 5 days.
That is a lot of walking.
It is a lot of walking.
And when we went on a 12, a little over 12 mile hike on top of the 45 mile.
Yeah,
Where did
just
you guys
yesterday.
hike at?
Along the ridgeline.
Oh.
So we
Up
did
the Wisdom Tree.
Got it.
my favorite hike, that Lake Hollywood Wisdom Tree, and then the whole crest,
Right.
like all the way to Griffith.
And you two have been in town quite a bit before, right?
He's come in
Yeah.
a few times, yeah. And then they've been in twice and 3 times, respectively.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Well, I'm very happy to have you guys here. I'm very happy to have the whole
Glad
clan.
to be here.
He's talked about it ad nauseum on the show for years. Any excuse he has to talk about, like, oh, I really like, my dad got me into comics when I was little, is it because he really likes stuff, and so I really like stuff. He talks about you with cheery eyes and rosy cheeks, and I want to hear it now from the horse's mouth. From the
Don't
gift,
punch a
from
gift
the
horse.
Don't
gift horse's
punch that
mouth.
gift horse.
What were some of
punch
you?
back.
What were some? yeah.
It's true. That's why I
What
don't
were
punch
some
him.
of
That's what I
your
learned.
What were some of your favorite books when you were younger that you think spawned his interests?
Well, I was always a Marvel guy, which of course he is too.
Yes,
so,
of course.
this
This is a highly Marvel podcast. We're a highly biased
Yeah.
Big
podcast.
Zack Snyder fans here.
But at the same time, my uncle, who actually had a bunch of comics when we would go visit my grandfather up in northern Maine, he actually had a bunch of Batman, Detective Comics, and the Superman. And so that was always a big thing from
Right.
that side. But
Right.
for whatever reason, I always
And-
tended more towards.
And
the
this is
Marvel.
late 70s, early 80s.
That would have been
that era.
in 70s. Yeah,
Gotcha.
it was pretty cool. Like,
And
And you were more of like an 80s. I think of your collection as being very X-Men centered, and then lots of runs
like
of other
like
stuff.
the Claremont
Yeah.
era.
Yeah, like a long
oh, yeah.
run
The
of Claremont.
John Byrne.
Yeah, but then I think of other things as being like short, like 12s and stuff.
What do you mean 12? Sorry.
Like one arc. Like you'd go like here's his 2 trades, but in floppy form. Like you'd
not for the
you'd go
X-Men.
into
X-Men, I had a whole
No, I'm
suite.
saying that's the foundation, but then
Yeah.
you'd have stints of other stuff. Like you'd try out an artist, you'd try out a writer.
Oh, yeah. I definitely followed the artists more
Yeah.
than
Do you-
anything else. So.
Do you think that passing along the interests to Coy kept you in it? Do you think that you maybe would have fallen out of it?
Oh yeah,
Without
absolutely.
Coy coming into your life?
earlier, because
Yeah.
I'm definitely a retired comic.
Oh, yeah.
I had to be, you know.
Nobody
It became
retires.
too
Let me
expensive.
tell you, nobody retires in comics. You
Yeah,
might
not
take
forever.
hiatuses.
Yeah,
but I've tried many times.
Fables 201's pretty solid. Just came out. He's a huge Fables guy. He actually got me into Fables.
It's
Yeah,
one of my
he was,
favorite
yeah.
books. I just love it. It's again, talk about being semi-retired. Haven't finished it. Haven't not caught up. I am only like I think 7 trades in, and it's like the best. It's one of my favorites. But
I
I
love
just,
it. Yeah,
just don't have time. It's really
He's the
hard
one
to
that
find
showed
time.
me like how to follow an artist. So like he's
Yeah.
an artist himself. So when I discover how to track an artist before the internet. Like you'd Wizard magazine and you'd dive in the back and you'd look at Wizard like this is this.
Right.
And then you'd kind of, I think Mike Ringo was one of the first ones we both followed. Obviously Byrne.
Yep.
I think Majura was the first one you and I both like collected simultaneously.
I think that was when you became kind of really conscious about it.
Yeah.
Because his
Like Joe
style
Mad
was
McGinnis.
so fresh, so to speak, at that time. So
How old
it
are
really
you
stuck out.
when that happens?
7 or 8.
Yeah.
Oh, which?
Joe Mad.
Was it that early?
It was
Well, just
I
because
think
you
it was
said that's
later
when he
than that.
became conscious of it, and I feel like that's something that's fascinating about Koi's comic book obsession. Is I think the fine details of the comics are the things that are lost on kids.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you
yeah.
were paying attention to the specifics of that, I think, earlier than some, which is why you have this great retaining ability for it.
I think Todd
Because I
McFarlane
didn't-
was pretty
Yeah, for me, it was like,
Yeah.
it was the Image era
Yeah.
that I actually learned about comic artists. Like, I knew who Stan Lee was, I knew who Kirby was, I knew like the names, but I couldn't tell you the book I was holding, even if it had their signature on it. I couldn't tell you who drew it.
And he's the one that showed me, like, we'd sit down and be like, oh, look at how Ringo does this and
Right.
the energy in it. And then we'd be like,
Right.
look at Joe Mad's line work here. And then, like, Ed McGuinness, to me at the time, looked a lot like Joe Mad. And then he started showing me how, like, the different ways the inkers would shape Joe Mad versus McGuinness. And
Right.
so, like, it was him that really, frame to frame, helped me go, like, oh, this is a frame of blank.
Right.
And then John Romita Jr. was huge for both of us.
Oh, yeah,
both
right.
like
Definitely.
Spidey, X-Men, Thor. You had the Thor
So-
JRJR stuff.
So Koi is like the Deadpool / Spidey. Do you have a Die Hard? Do you have who's your character or characters?
It's a thing of maybe frustration for Koi because I don't usually pick favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is frustrating.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
In anything.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
I,
You know
I
what?
tend to
I am fully
try
support
to
of
enjoy.
live
you
on the
know,
fence.
yeah.
Just live on the fence.
Live
It's a
on the
great
fence.
place to live.
Everyone
And
else
love it
hosting
all.
the
Love it
show.
all,
We
you
got
know?
Popcast with his civil enjoyment. We got not picking favorites.
So are you telling me Koi's dad hasn't made a list of his? This is the top 343 comic book characters of all time.
I would have one for every day if I was going to. But.
It's true. It's true. 365 is the only way to go.
Yeah, I don't know why that was the number that came to mind. You would think-
But Wolverine was one that
Yeah.
I think I always kind of enjoyed or liked. So I would say that drove my appreciation of the X-Men and that
Right.
sort of thing.
Well, and I think
It made it edgier.
yeah, I was gonna say at least of that era, Wolverine was he felt like the mature character.
Mhm.
Right.
And I know that got amped up in like the Jim Lee run, but even in Claremont's years, Wolverine felt like, oh, he's the adult.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he actually made adult decisions and did adult things despite wearing yellow spandex.
Yeah, making the hard choice.
Brown,
Those
yeah.
4-issue miniseries that really kicked it off was like really formative early on, and I finally like I wanted that personally in my collection to be all
Right.
like 9.8s and up because that was one we talked about a lot as a
Mhm.
kid.
Right.
But since that's the formative first debut of Wolverine, that's always been so hard to find.
Right.
I actually just showed you that issue 3 this week
Mhm.
because I finally got the issue 3 is a black cover, so it's like nigh impossible to get unopened.
Interesting.
And I found one that's unopened because the spine's not broken. So
Interesting.
I finally completed that 4 issues in like near mint,
Right.
and that one means a lot to me because we read that
Oh.
so long ago.
That's actually brings me to a thing I'm curious about, like the collection and the collecting. How much stuff do you still have at home? How much stuff has Koi left and just bequeathed you to deal with, and been like, peace, I'm heading to LA.
Not a little bit.
We have a spare bedroom of Koi's things. You know,
Things in
yearbooks, things from former
Like
cars,
personal
items, clothing from when he was in high school, that sort of thing. But we
All of
have
his Jenko jeans.
he has 33 long boxes
Yeah.
at my house, and James probably has 12 to 15 respectively
Gotcha. Of your own.
of long boxes of his
Gotcha.
own.
Do you? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, this is fantastic. Since you were also a comic nerd, because this is a thing that I've always been fascinated about. My generation, having kids that like the same things that they like, and like my cousin is also similarly made super, but now he has a kid who likes all the same stuff. Was there ever a competitive edge to the like? Whoa, no, Koi, those are dad's. Like this is my stuff and that's your stuff.
Luckily, no.
No.
It was so because she did specify what was Koi's and what was yours.
Well, like mine is like such a collection.
Sure.
It has to be like, curated like
Sure.
blank to blank.
Sure.
So I think the only reason it's like that's over there and this is over here is because like,
'Cause yours is
that's got to be a
organized?
complete. Well, and
Right.
because like they're bagged and boarded and categorized. Like they've
Right.
got to be
Sure.
But I do remember I had a Claremont burn run that was solid.
Right.
And he had a Claremont Burton run that was solid. And then I came into a good chunk of comics from a friend's mother.
Right.
And then that was
we talked about that one.
Yeah, that literally changed my collection.
Right.
But that was the one time I saw him be like, what? And I was like,
oh, I was so envious.
Yeah. So there was a little jealousy.
But that was the one time
That was
I
the
ever
beginning
done-
of my end with it.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not buying comics anymore.
heartbroken.
I've lost.
So, was there ever? Were you ever
new king.
the new key?
The comics.
Yeah. Arthur has stepped down. It is now Arthur's time. Have you? Were you ever like value minded in his collecting? Like as far as like, oh well, this is gonna be worth. You think this is gonna be worth something? Like, did you, or was he kind of always that way with like, I gotta get a number one? Because we talked about how you and I were both like number one crazy around the Image era, where I was like, this is gonna be worth money one day.
And then I learned being number two crazy was the move.
Oh yeah.
No, I think
No, you don't think
part
so?
of it was he actually collected Pokemon way before that.
Oh.
And I think that
helped
was
train
almost
me.
a lesson in a way.
Did you give
because
any-
of the crashing value of what happened
Right.
after the
We
crazy
still
stuff
have
with it.
them.
So and we do. Oh yeah.
We do.
Did you
And that
you
value's
care
gone
at all
back
about
up, but-
Pokemon? Either one of you? Were you like, oh, this is kind of a fun thing? Or were you
They
like, oh, this is
supported me,
kid
though.
stuff?
Yeah. They definitely
I
were like,
appreciated the art styles,
Sure.
but I didn't really
You
care
didn't
about the.
Sure.
Yeah.
but they were rad. They brought me to like, it was FYE in New York. Had
Oh,
Spider
man.
Yeah.
FU Entertainment, as we used to call it.
But they had Spider-Man cards and Pokemon cards
Right.
and like the Flare Ultras and stuff. And they would
Sure.
always like on Saturdays bring me to go like CompUSA and like pick up stuff while they were running errands. So they always supported it.
Well, I was buying
We-
a paperback or something else myself.
Yeah,
so-
When the
exactly.
movie-
yeah, you were also like, and this is for me.
Yeah.
When the movie Aladdin came out, Coy was like 3.5, 4 years old, and the closest Disney store was an hour and a half away.
Oh, I remember Disney stores in
Right?
the mall.
So I would drive
Do
him
you want
down.
a $95 plushie? Head to a Disney store.
Right. So I would drive him down to collect the Aladdin cards. And he has a
right.
complete run of the Aladdin cards because I didn't mind driving my toddler practically
Yeah.
all the way down to the closest city that had a Disney store.
I didn't realize how big of a Disney kid I was until I went to Disneyland and I was like, I did all of this.
Right. You're like, I own all this merch.
I'm like, I met Mickey Mouse at 2,
Right.
and then Aladdin was my obsession, and then like as I grew, so it's really interesting that Marvel's now part of Disney because that was formative before comics for me.
Yeah, you were always a corporate shill.
I was ready to shill from birth. I was ready to shill for the mouse. But I think the Larry's comics in Lowell was the big transition to me being able to collect fully and then you collecting when you wanted to. That was like the shift because
Yeah.
in New York and stuff, it would be they'd have to drive me. I was a kid,
Right.
and we'd have multiple comic stores in New York. Like we had like a comic store next to the $2 theater. We had a comic store that was a little farther
Yeah,
away.
there's the abundance of
The
them,
market
and-
was
yeah,
bigger.
yeah.
And then we moved to a town where there was a comic store that was literally walking distance. And I worked there sometimes. Like I'd help with cons and stuff. But that's, I think, when it transitioned into like, I'm a collector. And then I
Right.
would suggest stuff to you. That was the passing of the torch in my mind.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So you
And that's when I decided to kick the $100 a week habit.
gotcha. Yeah.
Was not cheap. It was great seeing him like walk out with the literal stacks like I do now though.
Sure,
And like
yeah.
in my memory seeing like,
Yeah.
and then like the
He
exit.
passed,
Like,
he passed the financial burden onto you.
yeah, now it's my stakes.
And technically, they're at my house.
Wait, no, that's true. That's your collection now, technically.
Possessions 9/10 of the law. Absolutely. So you said that you're retired at this point, but do you like every now and then? Is there anything that you think like, oh, like I want to check that out, or when was the last time you actually read something?
It has been years. I really,
Yeah.
I would say retired from it from that perspective. It's just, it's like right now we're in a golden age of TV, which used to be just the wasteland of media. And
It was also you missed it. You missed it with television.
Absolutely.
Right.
But obviously with collectibles and paperbacks and everything else, you certainly have a huge amount of creativity and artistry and everything else that's going on right now.
Right.
And I don't have that much money.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
It really does come down to it. It's almost becoming cost prohibitive, I think.
I'm the same way.
To
Like
really enjoy it.
Yeah,
I
I
talked
agree.
about it on the show a few times where like for like 10 years, the only time I ever bought comics was Comic-Con on Sunday because it was the deals because nobody wanted to bring crap home. All the stores were like, we'll just get rid of whatever we want. So you could get like, 10 trades for $3 and that would be my comics for the year because I couldn't afford to buy them any other time of the year.
Right.
And I would be like, well, I got to make sure I stock up here. And if I dropped, a couple $100, I felt like this was my year comic money. And so it was okay. But yeah, it's not a cheap hobby. But what about like, the digital element to it nowadays where you can get like a subscription plan where like $9 a month gets you X amount of comics. Any interest in that or
Not much. I mean,
do you not like reading stuff that's not tactile like me?
Well, actually, I have a tablet and I use it quite
Do you?
extensively, but
Okay.
I don't I haven't tried reading comics on
Got
it,
it,
to be honest.
yeah.
So I'm very mixed on it. I guess,
Tough.
to be honest, I really do like the feel,
Yeah, I like
the
holding a
tactile
book.
I'm the
feel.
same
I still
way.
have a lot of books and so on, which I noticed you had.
His
as
son
well.
may or may have
So it's
gotten of
beautiful.
Spider-Man, Deadpool 1 trade and Saga, which he hasn't read yet. So I'm trying to get him back.
Don't guilt. Listen,
Saga?
parents are supposed to guilt their kids.
We talked about it.
Yeah, I
but,
thought- Okay, well, I'm going to give him Saga.
Saga I would like to check out.
Yeah, Saga's going to change your life.
It's fun. It's unique. It reads like a movie in a way that other books of the modern era just still feel like they're doing comics.
Gotcha.
Really
It's
good.
so unique in tone. And I really think you'd dig it, especially with your love of fables.
And I really enjoyed Invincible.
Yeah.
Because I basically ended near the beginning of that.
Right.
Okay.
And that one was
That was
stuck
sort of
out.
when you hung up your reader's cloak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You put the pipe away and put the reading jacket.
Yeah, exactly.
Hung the reading jacket.
I
up.
also
Took the reading
legit,
glasses off.
like Berserker, I do think you'll dig. Like Ron Garney is like an OG
I love
favorite
Ron
of ours.
Garney, yeah.
It was funny, Ron Garney, I did that panel and I was talking and it was like Mattson Tomlin and Matt Kent and Keanu Reeves and Ron Garney and the editors at Boom. And it was really funny that I was talking to Ron Garney. I was like, and me and my dad did this, and me and my dad loved this. And Keanu Reeves is like, do you wanna take a picture with Ron for your dad? And like he meant it like so selflessly, like anyone else, I can see that being like a weird thing, but I was like, and Ron Garney's here.
Also, he's probably thinking like, hey, do the obvious thing, Coy.
Yeah.
He's right there.
Again,
He's in front of you.
again, if you just shut your mouth long enough to think for a moment.
No, but that's what was great is I got to be like, I'm here for the comic Ron Garney's
Wink,
here.
wink, nudge, nudge. All right. Well, this is fantastic. I wish you guys were here every week. I am excited because we're gonna play a game. We're gonna.
Now this is where my mom's gonna excel. So as
we've-
much as my dad and I are comics, she's movies.
Well, let's see. We'll see how this goes.
Don't put the pressure on me.
Don't put the pressure on. So we played this game for a couple months now. It's a game that we invented here on KoeiCast where we use letterbox reviews
Okay.
in attempt to discover the name of a movie.
Okay.
And we very rarely ever have a second person, let alone a third person
Yeah.
in studio.
Game changer.
So we are going to take this opportunity. There's going to be 3 rounds. We've got 3 movies. Okay. We're going to go in order. We're going to go mom, dad, Coy. All right. In the first round, after each clue, mom gets the first opportunity. We don't have buzzers. So this is the workaround.
Yeah.
Mom gets the first opportunity to guess. If she gets it, she gets 3 points. Dad comes second for 2, Coy for 1.
Yep.
In the second round, for the second movie, it's dad's round. He gets the opportunity to guess first for 3, and then Coy for 2, and then mom for 1. And then in third, it's Coy. Does it make sense?
Makes sense.
Perfect.
All right, so I'm going to give you, I'm so excited. I'm going to give you the year only that the
Oh,
movie
Lord.
came out,
Okay.
and then a review, okay?
I'm gonna help you out. Remember the movie theater. Remember things that happened around that year, and it'll help you place things in time.
Alrighty.
Perfect.
And where's my little score sheet? I made a little score sheet. Where is
Jake
it?
is so red.
And,
Jake loves
and by
games.
score sheet, I meant I wrote your names on a piece of paper
Hey, it's a score sheet.
for me to tally. Okay, here we go. So I put that right on the board, and hopefully this doesn't stop recording. Great. Alrighty, so this is Mom's Round. We are starting with a movie from 2008.
Oh, yes.
Alrighty. The first review is a 4-star movie and a like. My mom forced me to watch this and quoted the entire thing. And then she said, quote, sweetie, I know me and your dad got sweetie, I know me and your dad got divorced because of this movie. And now she's running around the house looking for something to eat. Please save me.
Twilight.
For 3 points. Right off of the bat. Mom gets for the first round. You know how
That's
many
never happened.
Do you know how many reviews I pulled for this movie that I did not have to
I
pull?
want to rate a couple.
Didn't even get to some of the best reviews, which of
Okay.
course
Let's hear
is 3
been some of the
stars.
best.
This is one of the most unintentionally funny movies of all time. 4 stars. These people are so white. 5 stars. This movie really did capture how awkward it is being a teenager and how stupid we are when we're young.
Accurate.
5 stars. I made my dad watch this and he hated it. And then this is my favorite review that I thought would give it away. 2 stars. My favorite of the Anna Kendrick is in this cinematic universe.
That would.
I can't believe she got on the
in
first
one.
clue.
She might have won just because 3 points is impossible to get.
The divorce was a big
That
one, I
was
think.
solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good context.
As you know,
Yes.
I watch it every September,
Yeah.
the entire series,
Yes.
and I usually force him to watch at least one of them with me, the entire saga.
Almost causes a divorce. So.
Yep. So,
I was
know
like,
this.
it's
I
gotta
left this
be.
review.
Okay, so wait a minute. So
It's not really that bad.
did you understand my pain when your wife
yeah.
was on the program and I was trying to talk about Twilight? and I was trying to be nice.
Like I said, I totally understand the criticism and why people don't like it.
Of course.
But
Because it causes divorces.
exactly, it is a critical pivoting point. You either love it or hate it.
This was another favorite review of it that I also thought might give it away to Coy. 2 stars. I swear I watched it with a girl. Please, I'm begging you, don't revoke my revoke my bro license. No. Okay. Alrighty. It's round number 2 already.
I'm impressed.
Mom's ahead with 3 points. Alrighty. So this is Dad's round. The movie we're going to is from 1981. 4-star review. First opportunity. Philosophy, religion, and politics for kids age 6 and up. Any guesses?
81.
Yeah, right?
It's not a Planet of the Apes, is it?
It is not a Planet of the Apes. I believe I have to count that as a guess.
That's fair.
For 2 points of a steal, Coy
Right.
Jandro.
You give me another one, right?
No.
Oh.
No. Same clue.
Same clue.
And then
it drops down.
Yep.
Okay. So 1981 philosophy. Can you repeat it though?
Yes, I can repeat. It is philosophy, religion, and politics for kids age 6 and up. 4 stars.
The Book of Life, Monty Python?
No.
I was just picturing the.
Any guesses?
I have no idea. I would have been 10. Oh my gosh.
Love a woman who doesn't care about putting her age out there. Respect.
I do not know.
Alrighty, no worries. We are on to clue number 2. Let's do. I'm gonna give Dad a choice between a high rating or a low rating.
Might not matter. So let's go for the high rating.
A high rating. Alrighty, 4.5 stars and a little like from this person on Letterboxd. Crazy low budget spawns crazy creativity. It carries a lot of nostalgia, but I also think it's a genuinely great film. It works as a mindless fantasy or as something more existential, depending on your mood.
Empire Strikes Back?
No.
Ooh, a good guess though. It was 81, I think.
For 2 points. Very good guess. I just want to say Mama Jandro lit up
Yeah,
when I
she
read
did.
that review.
I think I know.
She might run away with this.
81 is so long ago.
7 years before you were born.
Yeah, I'm -7 here. Okay. 81.
It's almost like I stacked the game against you.
Here we are with my family. Okay, can you read this one more time?
Okay, one more time. Crazy low budget spawns crazy creativity. It carries a lot of nostalgia, but I also think it's a genuinely great film. Works as mindless fantasy or as something more existential, depending on your mood.
First Gremlins?
No, but good guess.
Ghostbusters.
By the way, Mema's cheating. She's trying to give you clues
Oh,
from
I just
off
started
air.
throwing up gang signs.
Yeah, that's what that was.
Is it Ghostbusters?
No, but very good
Oh,
guess. Alrighty,
okay.
the next clue. High or low? High or low, Dad?
You know
Let's go low this time.
Let's go low. Okay, 2 stars. Not only did I have to deal with a super obnoxious kid protagonist, but he's also British. God, this is hell.
Wow.
Have I seen this?
I am not going to answer that. I'm the captain now.
I can't even think of any movies from that.
I can't even think of a British child.
Oh, boy. Mom's also seems to be a little excited as well.
I think I got a good guess again.
Okay, one more time. Not
I
only
don't know.
2
Can't
stars.
think of a
Not only
British
did I have
child.
to deal with a super obnoxious kid protagonist, but he's also British. God, this is hell.
Don't know.
Alrighty, he's passing. 2 points for Coy.
Matilda.
No.
Whoa.
1
no.
point.
I know that's 20 years later and not
What?
British.
The
but I gave
British
up.
thing is throwing me, but my guess is E.T.
No,
No.
but good guess. Alrighty. Oh, I'm
Much
excited. This
later.
one, good. I'm glad that this one's taking a little longer since we got the first one, the first guess. Alrighty. 2 stars. By the way, they get more giveaway-y as the reviews go on.
Yes, they should.
Alrighty. 2 stars.
Mhm.
Only comes alive when Sean Connery is on screen. I thought this was a giveaway. By the way,
No.
Mema and Poppy are chomping at the bit
yeah.
behind us. Which is great because now I have a visual of what the listeners go through,
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
screaming at you.
Like,
I'm
why
so
don't you know
sorry.
this?
Oh, she said they saw it recently.
Oh.
Also, in fairness, I'm not sure how good Mema's eyesight is, but I also am just holding my phone. She couldn't read She could read
That's
over
why
my
she's
shoulder.
throwing up gang signs. She's like, I see it.
Alrighty, for 3 points, Dad. Any guess? 1981. We know that it's kind of a heady movie. It could be fantasy, or it could be silly.
Highlander was way after that, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't count as a guess because you just told me what it wasn't. And it only comes alive when Sean Connery is on screen, and there's a British kid protagonist who this person did not like.
Yeah, I've already gone through that. Thanks.
This isn't helping.
No, it's not helping. It's not hurting. It's just not helping. Wow, the only thing I can think of Connery in was Bond movies at that point.
Alrighty.
Don't got it.
Alrighty, for 2 points.
Was the first Indiana Jones then?
It doesn't matter.
Because Sean Connery's
That's
in that.
not the answer.
Okay.
For 1 point.
I do not know. The
Alrighty.
only Bond movies, Sean Connery or Bond.
Alrighty. So the last clue. Maybe
I'm sorry,
nobody
audience.
gets point. No, maybe nobody gets points for this. 3.5 stars. Okay.
Nice.
So you're telling me Titanic left out the best parts? Tragic. That's a real good clue to somebody who knows the movie.
I don't think I've seen
This
movie.
is, by the way, I'm very excited about what's happening right now.
I don't think
but-
I've seen this. And I think before we give the answer, my mom should say what her guess
Yes.
is.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
But I haven't seen this. I don't think.
3 stars. 1981.
Not made for TV, right?
Not made for TV. No.
It's got to be in theaters.
Alrighty.
It's gone.
No guess for Dad.
2
2 points.
for Red October.
Nope. 2 points for Koya. Alrighty.
It's got a boat and Sean Connery.
Last opportunity.
What do you want from me?
Last opportunity. Mom,
Well,
1
it's
point.
not Indiana Jones. It's not Bond. I
It's
do
not Pippi
not.
Longstocking.
I'm a
No.
sneaky little host.
Yes, you are.
okay,
you
Mama.
definitely stumped
Okay.
us.
Mama celebrity shot.
Head on over to her microphone.
What?
All right,
yeah,
what
but
is-
let's see
what's
your
your
guesses.
guess?
Talk right into that microphone so we hear you.
Dragonheart.
Great guess, but not the answer.
Oh, that was like 10 years
Good
ago.
guess,
Yeah,
though.
I love the movie Dragonheart.
I'm just going to say the first round, the guess was Twilight because I was aware that your mother obviously was obsessed with it. And on a recent episode, you stated that your father had a poster of Time Bandits.
Oh
my God.
And so I selected Time Bandits.
What's funny is I was fairly close to the Monty Python.
You were?
one.
That's-
Yep, absolutely.
Time
yeah, I knew
Bandits.
you love Time Bandits.
The Titanic, when they were on the
Yeah.
Titanic
Oh,
and that
that's
failed.
so funny.
The British little
Didn't
kid.
even think of that.
And Sean Connery, by the way, because I rewatched it for the first time fairly recently on it for a patron only pod, and I legitimately, as a kid, did not register that was James Bond, like that he was even in the movie. And when I was
I'm not sure I
rewatching
did
it,
either.
Yeah, yeah.
when I was
But remember
rewatching
that
it,
poster was in
Not
our
then.
basement?
Yeah.
Yeah, Time Bandits was like
Great
such a thing.
poster.
And I've never
Alrighty.
seen it. So
So-
that was stacked against me.
Right.
Or I
alrighty,
haven't
so
since New York.
Yeah.
last movie, it seems to be Mom's going to win this.
I mean, it's only 3-0.
even-handedly. It's impossible for Dad to win, but we still want him to play because maybe I'll give him bonus points.
I mean, if I lose, and
He can still come in second. And
Yep.
second is definitely not the loser. Alrighty, so this movie from 1990. Coy's round, so he gets 3 points if he gets it first. 4 stars. I'm crying. Oh my God, he's so cute and sweet, and I want to hug and protect him and make sure he's okay.
1990, he's so cute.
That is what I said, and that is the year.
E.T. Early?
Think out loud. Now he's just murmuring.
Gremlins 2.
I'm gonna need a guess.
Gremlins 2.
Wrong for 2 points. Any guesses, Mom? Obviously, it's vague at first.
Yeah,
but
It's
you're
very
swinging.
vague.
Yeah.
I
It's a decent guess.
say something with the original Yoda, like one of the Star Wars, like
That it is not. I'm gonna
Okay.
count that as a guess
Okay.
because it's still early on here.
Read it again.
I'm crying. Oh my God, he's so cute and sweet. I want to hug and protect him and make sure he's okay.
Dragonheart.
That's my review of Dragonheart, coincidentally, but no, that's not the one.
All right, next
Alrighty.
one.
Next one, still a little vague, but I'm gonna make it slightly easier. 5 stars. I would die to live in one of them houses.
Die to live in one of them houses. He's so cute. Willow?
Wrong. 2
'Cause
points.
he's a little cute. in
2
the
point
houses.
steal, Mom.
it was
Two-
before the Lord of the Rings. I'm thinking
Well
Hobbit
before.
House. houses. That's not it. Or is that a big fancy mansion? I don't know.
I don't know what that accent was.
What
but-
was that? I know
Big
that.
fancy
I
mansion.
know that you're the only Boston people with Southern accents, but
that was neither of those things.
I have no idea where that
She sounded like a cast member from Schitt's Creek.
I feel like
fancy mansions.
She sounds like Matt Berry on What We Do in
yeah,
the Shadows.
his makeup accent.
Oh my God,
Catherine,
What We
Catherine
Do in the
O'Hara in Schitt's
Shadows?
Creek.
Yeah, that's what I
Yes.
was thinking. It was Schitt's Creek accent. The fancy
Alrighty.
mansions.
Alrighty, for 1 point, any guesses? I would die to live in one of them houses. 5 stars
No.
for a point. Alrighty, second clue, third clue here. 4.5 stars. Make no mistake, this is a Christmas movie.
1990 Christmas movie. Little houses. Protect.
Make no mistake.
Make no mistake.
This is a Christmas movie.
1990.
Is it Home Alone?
Yeah, it's not your turn to guess.
Oh.
Jeez Louise.
One of them houses implies multiple houses to my brain. And there's only one house because he's home there alone. That's where he is, home alone.
I'm gonna need an answer. I need a guess.
Christmas movie. Grinch was way later.
You can't just say when things happened.
Lethal Weapon 2 was 1990. No, that was 89. No, that was 90. But that's not it.
I'm gonna need an answer. That was me doing
Nightmare
what's his
Before
face.
Christmas.
No, for 2 points. I'm
And
gonna
it's
I'm gonna
not
let you
Home
guess again.
Alone.
Nope,
Okay.
you guessed that already.
Yeah, I do not know.
I thought you would have taken that opportunity to get
on
a
a
different
handicap.
guess in there. Considering I gave you an extra one. There. I was trying to help you out. Trying to help you out, Mama Chandra.
She's already clearly won this game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And what was the one clue again?
Make no mistake, this is a Christmas movie. I'm crying. Oh my God, he's so cute. I want to hug and protect him, make sure he's okay, and I would love to live in one of those houses.
Certainly not Griswold then. Wow.
I feel like this one's going to haunt me.
Alrighty,
Any guesses?
Yeah.
alrighty. Next one. Personally, this is 1 star. Personally, I think he should have killed the whole neighborhood.
Is it the Grinch?
No.
Okay. Maybe the animated one.
Oh my gosh.
Killed the
Cool.
whole neighborhood.
This is fun for me
Is
and
it-
only me.
Is it Die Hard?
No.
I was thinking that was my next guess, actually, weirdly.
Good guess because
What
of
was
that
the
clue
Schwarzenegger
implies
Right.
that there's debate.
Movie.
Oh, yeah.
He's trying to get the kid
Jingle All
toy.
the Way?
Dad is now asking for.
I can't remember the
Jingle
name
All
of
the
it.
Way was the name of the kids that where he's like getting the toy.
You
of
can
the-
tell me if you can tell me things about the movie, even if you don't know the name.
The one with Schwarzenegger. No, that doesn't make sense. No.
Schwarzenegger is cute. Oh my God, I want to cuddle him and make sure he's okay.
He
It's
does
more
own
for his
many
kid,
houses.
but yeah. That's not going to be it.
Oh,
Alrighty, are you guys ready for the next clue?
Yeah.
All right, back to Koi for 3 points. 1 star. Why is everybody sexually attracted to him? Guy was in this house like 80 years and still didn't cut his own hair and didn't even clean the house.
Nope.
Dad lit up.
Juma. No. 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 It's not Jumanji.
Nope, it's not Jumanji for 2 points, Mom.
I have no
sense.
idea. I'd cut his hair?
Oh, there are definitely. I think at this point, the clues have put enough puzzle pieces together that there are definitely listeners who are screaming.
Very upset.
Oh,
Yeah,
very upset with us.
But it's way harder when you're in front of a microphone and someone's staring at you. I just want to let you know,
And we're
listeners.
all trying to win a thing versus.
Yeah.
But are we?
Yeah. Right. I mean,
I do not know.
Alrighty,
you lit up.
for 1 point.
What was your guess?
What was the clue one more time?
I, for one, think he should have killed the whole neighborhood.
Yep.
Oh, wait. Oh, no, that was the old one. The
Yes.
new one is, why is everybody attracted to him? He doesn't, a guy was in this house for like 80 years and he didn't cut his own hair and didn't even clean the house.
Was that the stat? So, Interview with a Vampire?
Oh, great guess, but not the right answer. Alrighty.
That was much later. wasn't
Here we
Yeah,
go.
it's not Christmas.
Here we go.
it? Kill the whole neighborhood, sure.
A modern day Frankenstein-esque flick. Normally, I can't stomach romance films, but when you season it with a smidgen of goth,
Edward Scissorhands.
for 3 points,
Oh, yeah.
Coy
that makes
gets
sense.
Edward Scissorhands
Oh, that was exhausting knowing
That
I might get
was.
it. Man, that's good.
to tie the game. And
Tied up. Edward
for,
Scissorhands.
for the
job.
tiebreaker, the person who has seen the most of the 3 movies that we just played wins the game. And I know for a fact Coy has not seen Time Bandits, and you two have seen all 3 of those movies, so it's a tie between Mom and Dad. For the win.
all it is I lose. I lose. That was fun. That was hard.
That was hard.
This was great. I had so much fun
We're
hanging
gonna
out
play
with you
that
guys.
game live, and people are gonna be just flailing in the streets
It's
like we
gonna
just
be-
were.
You're like, why don't they know
Outstanding.
this?
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I think if we ever do this at like a con, we're gonna have to let the audience steal.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Because
the
it's gonna
audience
happen.
because
Memo
Memo
throwing
they'll be
gang
screaming.
signs.
Memo's gonna be in the back of the room, just
Yeah, with Tourette's.
Yeah, just signaling things in the background.
In fairness, she look like she was landing a plane behind me.
Yeah, no. This way, that way.
All right.
Well, I know it was
we
going to be hard from the listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. From the
man,
other
I wouldn't get
letterboxing
that.
games.
In fairness, he might have on the show oversold your love of Time Bandits.
I said he had a
did.
poster.
Yeah, but you made it seem like, oh yeah, that was one of my dad's movies.
I assued it was because he talked about it and had a poster.
I tried
How
to
many
take
posters did our house have?
That's good.
I
Clue.
tried to take the information I was given.
That's true. That's fair.
Alrighty, so before we go and you do the regular wrap up, we do have to. It's a new month.
Yeah.
We have to pick our October Unpunchable Gift Horse of the month. Do you guys want to hang out with us while we do this?
Sure,
Do it.
You
absolutely.
guys can hang out till the rest of the wrap. Alrighty, so hey, listeners, hi. This is Jake. Koi, say hi.
Hey, it's McCoy.
His
McCoy
name's
cast.
His name's on the show.
Here it is.
I've
I've enjoyed like leaning back and letting Jake run this one. Though. I'm not mad at it.
We have a Patreon,
We
and
do. It's very appreciated.
it's the best way to support the program and to keep us going, to keep the lights on here in the Dragger's Den, and pay for all the coffee, and all that good stuff. So if you enjoy this program, each and any week, that's what I just said.
He's the talker.
Then please consider showing your support by becoming a patron over at patreon.com/koicast. There's a bunch of different tiers. You get access to the patron only pod. You get, and by the way, there are 113 or something like those, 114.
Yeah,
maybe 20.
100.
There's
I
a
think
lot.
it's 120 episodes.
We're
at
a
this
lot.
point.
There's
And they're all
deep.
very well organized. So if you watch a movie in like, a month and go like, oh, I wonder if they talked about that.
Right.
Boom, click that thing.
Lots of
Find the
fun
movie.
perks there. You get discounts to shop, all sorts of good stuff. But the best part of it all is if you become a gift horse, you get entered into the monthly Unpunchable Gift Horse of the Month contest. And if you win, you get your name up in lights in our Discord, as well as you get to select something for Koi and I to watch and chat about on the Patreon only pod, as well as, of course, you get a free shirt from the shop over at
Lot of stuff.
dragonridershop.com. And I believe it is time to pick this month's winner. The way this works is we take all of our eligible gift horse, we throw them into the fantastic website that doesn't sponsor the show called wheelofnames.com.
Completely unbiased.
Really easy.
Very easy to just.
I remember when I was thinking to myself, I wish there was like a wheel of names. And I looked up Wheel of Names. And wouldn't you know it? Wheelofnames.com.
.com. There it was for us.
A+ for the SEO on that one,
Yeah,
guys.
appreciate you.
So
So
without,
like Letterboxd, who should sponsor us, wheelofnames.com. We appreciate you as you are.
alrighty, so without further ado, I am spinning said wheel.
We also have unbiased observers to see that this isn't true.
And the Unpunchable Gift Horse of the month for the month of October, the spooky Unpunchable Gift Horse, is Doug Chiarello, a.k.a. Duger13.
Yeah, he did it.
Duger, thank you so
Good old
much
Doug. Good man.
for your continued Oh, wow, there's applause in the
Yeah.
studio for that. There's so many people. It's great. Thank you so much for your continued support of the show. Keep your eye on your email and the Patreon message. We send, we kind of blank, we like carpet bomb you with messages to make sure you don't miss it. Figure out how to get your merch and let us know what you would like us to watch.
In this exact moment, I just realized because Duger was one of the people that was kind enough to send me a birthday present that with my family here, I forgot to bring in I wrote out a thank you note list to thank people.
Oh.
So next week, when we record again in 2 weeks, I will
Yes.
come in. I apologize. Now it's going to be like a month late, but my family was here and I got distracted
Hey,
with a sheet of paper.
you got a lot of stuff going on.
I got a lot of stuff,
You
but
have-
everyone that sends something, it means the world, and you know who you are. But I also wrote down your names. I want to read you out because you're great.
Also, before we wrap this up, we should specify we're probably not going to have a show next week.
Right, because my family's
Because the John Rose Merrickses are in town
Yeah.
and they're gallivanting all around town.
and I don't have
They've
time to keep podcasts.
They've got hands to kiss and babies to shake.
Crazy
And
out there.
so you've got to see
Very
all
hard.
sorts of stuff. So we likely won't have an episode next week. Koi and I haven't talked yet about the plan for Patreon. We also might not have Patreon only pods, but we do have some stuff we got to catch up on with Patreon only pod.
Yes.
Because you and I both watched last month's Unpunchable Gift Horse, Gilbert Shorts pick.
Yep.
So we'll talk. We might squeeze in another recording at some point.
Okay.
We'll talk about
We'll
it.
figure it
But
out.
if not, we apologize. We might just be dark because
It'll just be like
couple
2
weeks.
episodes down.
yeah,
But
it's
we'll be
fine.
back.
It'd be great. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Do the things.
All right, we're gonna wrap this out. But first, I want to thank my whole family for being here today. That was a lot of fun to have people that I've talked about quite a bit on the show actually be on the show. So thank you for being here, my family. And thank you for being here, listeners. Please
wait, you didn't do the plugs. You have to have the guests plug their things.
Oh, that's right. Where can people find you on the internet? I'm so used to Mom. Where can people find you on the internet?
What projects you got working on? You're a writer. You wrote things.
I did write things. I have a book called the Platinum Series Amethyst, and I'm currently writing the sequel, which is called Garnet.
How do they find that on the internet?
That is on Amazon.
How do they? Say it again slowly.
The Platinum Series Amethyst under Stephanie M. Jandro.
Boom.
Amazon.com/
JANDREAU.
Which
Correct.
they should know if they listen to this show.
Listen,
That's true. It's very confusing.
You're lucky I remember it.
That's fair. That's fair. It's got a lot of vowels. My dad doesn't use the internet a lot. Well, he doesn't like social media.
I'm an old curmudgeon. No.
Yeah, it's true.
I knew.
Get away, you kids! Get off my lawn.
I knew there was a reason I liked him. Do you see the
Facebook,
sweater I'm wearing?
Instagram.
Old man screams
Yeah.
at the clouds.
Doesn't pick favorites. Enjoys comics casually. Curmudgeonly about social media.
It was a shit movie. I can't believe I had to watch that.
But that said, my mom and Poppy are also, the memo's on Facebook. But yeah, do rate and review on Apple Podcasts. Please check out koicast.com for merch. We got shirts, we got mugs, we got masks. Please do check out the Patreon, as Jake was just saying. You can follow us on social media. Use hashtag Koicast to get our attention. I'm at Coy Jandro. He's at Jake Lloyd Bacon. And as ever, 818-794-0722. That is 818-794-0722 is how to reach us and leave your own hotline call for the hot and hotline heavy weeks. You can also send a voice memo to contact@koicast.com.
We're gonna have
your phone-averse.
We're gonna have a phone-averse, so to say. Talk about being a curmudgeon. I'm an opposite curmudgeon. I only like new things.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a big hotline week. Because we're skipping
3 weeks worth.
So so get those calls in and we're gonna have a lot to chat about.
It's gonna be real fun. Big stacked episode. And Jake has since seen Elvis, which you guys know I've talked about ad nauseum. That'll be coming up, as well as
absolute circus.
I love that movie so much. So and so did my mom and Poppy. So that's 5 people telling you to watch Elvis. And if that isn't enough for HBO Max, I don't know what is. They need your clicks, guys. Discovery's gonna eat everything alive. Watch Elvis. But yeah, we'll be back next week without my family here. 2 weeks. They won't be here. No Popcast in 2 weeks.
The bar has been set so high now that every show from now on is going to be dull.
We've at best had 1 guest at a time. This time we had 4. We've had Juju on. We've had who else we had? We had Jim Starlin. You guys are in hollow grounds.
We had people who don't matter. That's what we've had. We've had dullards and boring people who've done nothing with their lives.
Honestly,
and now for once in our
bar
lives,
is so high.
We have people who matter.
The guy that invented Thanos and the guy that invented Deadpool were here, but the guy that invented Koi,
they don't hold a.
they came this week.
Created Venom. Who cares?
Yeah, the Todd father. He can wait. Now that we've had the Merrick's Jandros, he can wait. We love you, Todd, Rob, and Jim. We'll be back in 2 weeks. We appreciate you all very much. And thank you, as always, I'm excited my family's here. And thank you, as always, for listening. And remember, as I often say, go hug your family. It's really important. Like, you don't know how much time you get with them. And every time they visit, you make sure you bring them to Disneyland. All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Hey there, Koicast listeners. Producer Jake Lloyd here and founder of Dragon Wagon Radio. I just wanted to take a quick moment to tell you about my debut feature film, Pinch. Pinch is the story of 2 strangers brought together by the chance to own a rare and valuable sports collectible, but to do so, they're tasked with stepping out of their comfort zones and onto a baseball field. It is a story about love, family, how we define success, and how sometimes it's hard to look beyond our own insecurities. Pinch is what happens when the Sandlot grows up. I made Pinch with no budget, no crew, just a ton of heart, and I'm thrilled to share it with you. You can rent or buy it digitally on Amazon or watch completely free on Prime Video. Visit pinchmovie.com and follow @pinchmovie on Instagram for more info on this charming little indie movie that means so much to me. Thank you so much for listening to Dragon Wagon Radio. I appreciate your time. Now let's hear that awesome little network stinger that comes at the end of every show. Hey, you know what? That voice of the little network stinger, that's Tony Wayne, star of Pinch, now on Amazon. See what I did there? Okay, bye. I love you. Thank you so much. Pinchmovie.com.
It's Dragon Wagon.